Nin Bebeau, and I come from Boulder, Colorado, where for 30 years I led women's rituals. And I had various women's groups, and I had my own little temple, and it was a time of living close to the earth. Thank you for inviting me to share this ancient ritual with you. I'd like to begin by looking at some of the history associated with this day, how people at the beginning of time led the foundation for what we believe today. You can hear me well enough?
Yes.
Okay, good. I hope you were able to bring pictures and candles, but if not, do not be concerned, because I have brought plenty of candles, and you have plenty of pictures in your mind. Tomorrow night is October 31st. Americans will celebrate Halloween. Long ago, before there was America or Halloween, there was a sacred celebration called Samhain. This holy day is still celebrated in many cultures as the Day of the Dead, because on this night, as Catherine said, the veil between the worlds is the thinnest. Therefore, if you have loved ones who have crossed over beyond this world, this is the best time of the year to share an energetic connection with them. In Mexico, people take food and instruments and they go to the cemeteries where they party all night long. They celebrate with the spirits of the dead. We know the dead like to drink and party when they were alive, so that's how they honor them on the Day of the Dead. Some people believe in heaven and hell. Let us look at how these beliefs took form. The ancient Sumerians, who created the first writings on earth, speak about the underworld in their cuneiform tablets. They thought it was an actual place, what is today called Zimbabwe. The cuneiform tablets describe the underworld as a harsh place where humans labored in gold mines as beasts of burden. Perhaps our collective memory still holds a vague image of that time, and that became the foundation for the later belief that the underworld is a hot, dark place of hardship, as people imagine it to be today. Heaven is usually described as a place where angels play their harps. Well, this image echoes back 6,000 years to a time when Anu, the father of the gods in Sumer, lived in the sky and he played a harp. It was a beautiful instrument. The head of it was all carved with this blue bull, and it still exists today in a museum. Our images today are echoes of times long ago and only half remembered. In classical Greece, the philosophers and wise men believed the underworld was ruled by Hades, a handsome god with dark, piercing eyes that looked deep into the soul. He had the most exquisite voice, and the dead sat around him entranced by the beauty of the song. According to the Greeks, it was a welcoming place. In the original myth of Demeter and Persephone, the young goddess was intrigued by deep questions percolating inside of her. And so she willingly entered the underworld because she was seeking answers. When Persephone heard Hades' sweet, sweet voice, she instantly fell in love with him and realized that it was her destiny to become the goddess of the underworld, the queen of souls. And they ruled together in love. After a while, the young goddess missed her mother, so she returned for a visit. Some people believe this myth explains the seasons and why it's cold in winter, because the mother was missing her daughter. was a later, more simplified interpretation. In the original version, Demeter and Persephone went on to create the Eleusinian mysteries together. They guided the living into a deep tunnel. There, the initiates were reunited with those whom they had loved, who were now in the underworld. And for a brief time, the dead helped the initiates undergo a powerful transformation. When the initiates re-emerged from the depths and returned to their everyday lives, they felt renewed and were reborn as a golden child, as their authentic selves. This sacred celebration also commemorates endings and beginnings, like New Year's Eve, a time for completions. This is a time for forgiveness, a time to forgive yourself for anything you did not complete with the ones who crossed over, a time to forgive fate for not being kinder, a time to forgive the dead for leaving you, and a time to forgive them for their shortcomings when they were alive. It's a time to wipe the slate clean for two reasons. One, because you want the restless dead to travel on. You want to release them. The second is to free yourself from carrying burdens that drain the energy you need for living. Thank you for bringing a candle and a lighter. If you did not, just raise your hand. Okay. And I'll pass around a few candles. Do it.
You need some help. You want some help?
I hope you were able to bring some pictures. If you did not, no problem. You have plenty of pictures in your mind, and we'll take time to do that. So, to begin, light your candle. And if you need a lighter, raise your hand.
Here's a lighter.
You can also light your candle from someone else's candle and share your light in that way. Okay, does everyone have light now? Okay, we'll wait.
No.
Thank you. Candles.
We don't have any.
Okay, anyone else still need a candle
Yeah?
or a lighter?
Thank you.
You want to turn the lights up?
One more over here. Okay, everyone has one now?
Yes.
What did your hand raise? You need one?
Oh, see, all the thumbs up.
Oh, thumbs up. Okay, we're done. Okay, so what I would like to do now is, and it's nice that we have a smaller group, because I'd like to go one row, and then second row, third, and that one. And when you're finished, then we'll go this row, and then we'll this row. So we're going to do it like a procession. And come up, and if you have tea candle, float it in the water. If you have a regular candle, put it in the sand, or if it stands in a cup, put it on the table. Okay? And when you come up, put your candle down and say your loved one's name 3 times. You can do it silently to yourself, or you can do it out loud, and then continue on to your seat. Okay? So. I'd like you to take the next few minutes to look in the eyes. If you brought a picture, then look in the eyes of the picture. Otherwise, close your eyes and look at the face of the person you want to remember, or the people you want to remember. And take these few moments to complete, to bless them, to give them your blessings, to forgive them specifically for whatever you wish to forgive them for, to give them the message you didn't get a chance to say. Whatever will help you move closer to completion, or just visit. Just be with them. Tell them how you're doing today. invite you to pick a partner and tell your partner a story about the people that you've lit candles for. But please try not to repeat an old grievance. We don't want to reinforce the old grievances. And so instead, try and find a positive story, something that feels good. Even if you had a difficult relationship with the person, hopefully you can find at least one really good story. And rather than say he or she as you tell it, use their name each time as much as you can, because you're feeding them by saying their name. You're bringing their spirit from the past into the present. Okay? Find your partners. You'll have about 5 minutes to share with a partner. You came together today.
Oh, really?
Ruth, could you? Many blessings go to those of you who are still traveling through the brief time. In my everyday life, I'm an author, and I have brought a couple of my books here for you today. One is called Meshka, the Wise Woman, and it's about an old woman who loses everyone in her village. And so she's cast out into the world. And she's able to face the deaths and overcome them. And she turns to her spiritual sources to help her. And eventually she meets a group of women, and they help each other to come to a new land, to begin a new life. In the second book, Meshka and the Gothis, they've come to the new land, and they've decided to create a new kind of community, one that heals the past. And so they do these rituals to acknowledge the wounds that their different nationalities and their different religions have inflicted upon each other. And I also have some of my dear wife Brooke's beautiful poetry books back there, if you wish those. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nin. That was lovely. That was very enjoyable. I love ritual. You know, I'm one of those that really enjoys ritual because it's so interactive, it's so heart-opening, it's so soothing, it's everything. Thank you, Nin. And Nin will be available after service in the library if you wish to speak with her and ask her any questions or share your thoughts about this ritual. And now we go on to our offering and announcements. We're doing it now, as you noticed the last couple times, we're doing our announcements during the offering. So, and thank you, Jeff, for the music. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Today concludes our 2-month collection, concludes our 2-month collection to our community partner, Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity's mission is to bring people together to build homes, communities, and hope. At Habitat, they believe in love as much as we do. They believe in, your contribution to Habitat may be placed in the side, this side of the basket, Habitat for Humanity, written on, right around, all around, you can see it. And the other side is, of course, Unitarian Universalist. Each has the logo for easy reference. As we begin, please repeat after me. Divine love through me.
Divine love through me.
Blesses and multiplies all that I am.
Blesses and multiplies all that I am.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
And all that I receive.
I am prosperous now.
I am prosperous now.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
I would like to ask Deborah on this side. And, okay. Diana on this side. And I think you had an announcement, Deborah?
It might be the same one. Okay. Speaking of Deborah, she's the one that created this. She's on our board as treasurer, membership, you know, there's a lot of things that she does, but she printed this up at home, beautifully done. And what it is the community chorus, for the first time in a couple of years, is actually going to have a Christmas concert. And I'll take this to a window here by this door, but it's going to be in December 10th and 11th, and